Yes. Greetings. Greetings, friends. It's me. Hi. There we are. Hi. There I am. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. We're getting connected here. It's a very unusual live stream from yours truly. Let me adjust the camera here. How are we looking? Very bright in here, isn't it? It's almost too bright. That's okay. I look very Caucasian right now. Am I allowed to say that out loud? It's offensive. That is very offensive, being this white on camera. Should I make it dimmer in here? Nah, probably no need. Okay, well, hopefully people get connected shortly. While I'm waiting for people to get connected, maybe I'll just explain what's going on here. I'm Kenny Webster. I host a radio show in Houston, Texas. I actually host two radio shows, a very popular morning syndicated show that can be heard all over the South. And then I host another radio show in the afternoon all by myself, the morning show. As you know, the Walton and Johnson, the WJ Radio Network, and then in the afternoon, Kenny Webster's Pursuit of Happiness. And if you are not from my city, you probably didn't know this, but we had a pretty rough week here in Houston, Texas, to put it bluntly. It was not an awesome week. For people that live in Houston, Texas, the latest on this, the CEO of Centerpoint Energy just came out and said, what was it, 2.6 million customers are without power. Were without power, and 4 days later, they have restored power to, well, not that many people, like 1.1 million, customers, 1.1 million customers. The term customer is confusing. It's misleading because you hear the word customer and you think, oh, that means person, right? Not necessarily. A customer for the energy company could be a storefront, and a storefront doesn't have anybody living in it. You know, maybe it's a gym or something. But across the street, another customer might be a house, and it's a family of 5. So that's 2 customers, but it's 5 different people. Does that make sense? I'm sure it probably does. It's not that confusing. And so anyway, 1.1 million customers are still without power. It's a lot of people. Whatever the exact amount is, let's just say it's one too many people for a Cat 1 hurricane. So people are pissed. They're very angry. If you're just getting connected to this video, sound off in the comment section so I can see who's watching me. Because I'm actually going to, I'm going to do something very unusual. I'm going to do a very radio-esque thing to do, something that only a hokey morning radio DJ would do. I have 2 extra tickets to go see Cage the Elephant tonight up in the Woodlands. And what's weird is I cannot find anybody that wants these tickets. I want to give these tickets away to somebody. I really want to give, obviously it's going to be somebody in Houston, because if you don't live in Houston, why would you want to go see a concert tonight in Houston? But I really want somebody that was affected by the hurricane, and that's the only point of this video. I don't have any solutions. I don't know what to do about the power. I can't give you power back. Unless you already own a generator. Imagine the insanity of this. Last weekend, Lena Hidalgo, she's the Harris County judge. Lena Hidalgo, who has a lot to say about all kinds of issues, she has no political authority over. She's the leader of Southeast Texas. Scary to think, of all the elected Democrats in the state of Texas, she has more political authority than any of them. And purportedly, she's a pill-popping junkie with depression issues who has been publicly mocked by her own liberal Democrat mayor recently, among other things, for being unqualified and having a nerdy-looking fiance, which is funny to me, but it doesn't matter. And Lena Hidalgo leaves town last weekend. Now, Lena Hidalgo is one of those people that's actually criticized Ted Cruz back in February of 2021 when he went to Cancun. The obvious difference here between Lena Hidalgo and Ted Cruz is that Lena Hidalgo is the chief executive officer in charge of Harris County. It's the biggest county in Houston, in Texas. It's Houston. Harris County is Houston. Ted Cruz is a lawmaker in Washington, D.C., doesn't have any governing authority. Lena Hidalgo has a lot of governing authority over this one specific place, but even still, very important, at least to people in Harris County, as scary as that is, which is terrifying. It should scare you. It scares me. What's up, Joshua? What's up, Glenn? Thanks for connecting, guys, on Facebook and Twitter, respectively. I keep wondering if we've seen the worst of Lena, and then somehow she tops whatever she did last. Lena Hidalgo blamed Donald Trump for the death of Jocelyn Nungare, that little girl, the 12-year-old, who was murdered under a bridge, and some very other unwholesome things happened as well at the hands of 2 illegal immigrants, purportedly, again, allegedly. Innocent till proven guilty, yada, yada, yada. Lena has a lot to say about that, but she had nothing to say about the hurricane right up until it happened. Noyles on YouTube says, nice shirt, Kenny. Thank you, my man. You can buy one of these shirts at waltonandjohnson.com under our online store. It's actually a shortcut. If you go to ilovewj.com, we've got we have these, among other things. You can get it in any color you want. Javier Millet, one of my favorite people in politics, by the way. So thank you, Noyles, on YouTube. What's up to Hollins watching us on Facebook right now? Greetings to you. Sound off on in the comment section if you're just getting connected. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, yeah. Lena Hidalgo leaves town last weekend. Did the exact thing that she criticized Ted Cruz for. Now, here's where this gets a little complicated. Governor Abbott left town as well. But Governor Abbott he left a replacement, Dan Patrick, and Dan Patrick's done a pretty good job as interim governor. I would say he's done a good job. I would give him a passing grade for sure in how he's handled the crisis. Lena Hidalgo, on the other hand, has botched this whole thing. Now, we probably also have to blame Centerpoint Energy for some of the fun we've been having. What's up, Gretchen, on Facebook? Good to see you. Centerpoint Energy sent no linemen to Houston to prepare for this hurricane. Said 0. The grand total of none ahead of time. Normally, when there's a hurricane, you see linemen from the energy company that have driven in from other cities. They're kind of waiting around the city. They come in from Fort Worth and Waco and stuff like that. None were sent this time. Now, Dan Patrick claims that the state of Texas reached out and offered help to Harris County. And Lena Hidalgo says that's not true. So who's lying? Dan Patrick, our lieutenant governor, our interim governor, or Lena Hidalgo? We don't know. Dan Patrick says he offered help and says that Lena Hidalgo turned it down. And Lena Hidalgo says that's not true. He never offered help. He says it happened multiple times. Now, at the same time that this is happening, there's also a feud happening between Dan Patrick and President Joe Biden. The Biden administration claims they offered help, or that Texas never asked for any federal help. And Dan Patrick claims they did. So Dan Patrick has now provided a call log to prove that he reached out to the federal government. So it looks like the Biden administration lied. Dan Patrick told the truth. So getting back to the point with Lena Hidalgo, if Dan Patrick was telling the truth in that little feud with Joe Biden, odds are he's probably telling the truth about the thing with Lena Hidalgo as well. So shouldn't shock anybody to learn both Lena Hidalgo and Joe Biden have lied about this little mess. That sucks, right? Noyles on YouTube says Lena was too hopped up on pills to remember. Probably true. Chris on Facebook says, here. Dina says, I listen every morning. Love you guys. I love you too, Dina and Gretchen and everybody else watching. Anyway, so a lot of you still don't have power. Over 1 million customers 4 days later after what was a pretty as mild as hurricanes get. If it was any milder, it wouldn't have been a hurricane. Houston's just not prepared right now. And you can't really blame John Whitmire too much as mayor because he just took over and he's immediately pointing out all the problems in the system. The far left Houston Press. Houston Press is the name of a news outlet for those. I'm not talking about the press from Houston, but I'm talking about a news outlet called the Houston Press. Just published an op-ed explaining how Houston is just not prepared for a hurricane right now. And considering that this is the biggest city in America that's affected by hurricanes, we should be pretty bothered by that. There's no city bigger than Houston that's in Hurricane Alley. I mean, yeah, Tampa is pretty big. Miami is pretty big, but not as big as Houston. New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama, and Corpus Christi certainly not as big as Houston, not even close. They probably don't, combined together, don't have as many people as we have in this city. If this had been a real hurricane, if this like a Cat 3, Cat 4, there would be dead bodies in the street right now. Kenny, that's hyperbole. Is it, though? Is it? There are still logs and trees and stuff all over the city right now. Our reaction to this thing was embarrassingly awful. So you have to ask the question, what would have happened in the city if this was a really bad hurricane? Would we even have the dead body? It would be like Haiti. You got to wonder what's going on in Haiti right now. They just had a little storm. So all that being said, and this doesn't solve your problem. In fact, this will just sound cheesy and dumb after everything I just said. But if you're one of the people from Houston that was affected by this hurricane and you lost power, I almost feel silly saying this. I have 2 extra tickets to go see Cage the Elephant tonight at the Woodlands Pavilion, and I don't have anything to do with them. I offered them to some friends. I offered them to some of the other people here at the radio station, and nobody wanted them. So I just figured, a lot of people listen to our radio show. I have a pretty big reach on social media. 500,000 followers on Facebook, more than 40,000 followers on Twitter, more than 30,000 followers on Instagram. Why don't I just a few thousand more on YouTube? Why don't I just give them away to somebody that follows me on social media? So if you're watching right now on social media and you're in Houston and you lost power or you just had a shit week, like you know what I mean? Like maybe you didn't lose power, but you lost a client or a deal, or you didn't, people in here. Doesn't the 4th of July feel like it was a million years ago? This was such a long week. Anyway, so if you want to go to the concert, I'd love to give the 2 tickets away to somebody that's deserving. I love Cage the Elephant, one of my favorite bands. Holland said, I have a shit week, but I'm in Mississippi. I get it. Leonard said he'd like to go to the concert, but he's in Louisiana. All right, so to those of you that are in the Houston area, Joshua, looks like you are. Who else? Who's in Houston right now? Of all I don't know. I could just sit here until somebody says they want the tickets. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to jump through a hoop. You don't have to prove to me you lost power. I believe you. We'll use the honor system here, but I'd really like to just give the tickets away to somebody. There are lawn seats. It's not but it won't be raining. It'll be a beautiful night in the Woodlands tonight. Have you ever been to the Woodlands Pavilion in the summer? It's actually better I think it's better to sit up in the lawn than to sit down in the good seats because it gets hot. You're all crammed together. In the lawn, you spread out. It's nice. There's a breeze. You're up on a hill. Isn't it weird that the Woodlands Pavilion in Southeast Texas has concerts in the summer, but not in the winter? Isn't that strange? Like if you were planning concerts at the Woodlands Pavilion, wouldn't you think like, hey, December, it's 50, 60 degrees. That'd be a nice time to lay out in the lawn. No, middle of July, 100 degrees. Actually, it will be cool and nice tonight. It looks like it'll be pretty good weather. Noyles said he saw Depeche Mode at the Woodlands and he was in the lawn. The lawn was better. I was at that concert. I went and saw Depeche Mode at the Woodlands. What's that movie, Orgasmo? Have you guys ever seen the South Park movie, Orgasmo? What does he say over and over again? Bro, I don't want to sound gay or nothing, but I think Depeche Mode is kick-ass. I actually do think Depeche Mode's kick-ass. I had a really good time at that concert. It was great. Chris, where are you? Chris, do you guys, I can't believe they're free tickets, guys. You don't have to do anything. I just need somebody to say that they want the tickets. That's all this is. You don't have to do a magic trick or anything. How many people are even watching right now? Let me see if I could figure that out. I'm such a boomer. This is interesting how this works. I have over 400,000 followers on Facebook where there are currently 29 people watching. I have about 40,000 followers, roughly 1/10 as many people follow me on Twitter. There are 158 people watching. You immediately get why I bring that up, right? I am shadow banned. The Facebook shadow ban pisses me off so much. I don't even remember what I said, but I got a flag yesterday when I was commenting on some story. It wouldn't even tell me what the post was. I commented on some story on Facebook, and my response was, sounds like glorified prostitution, but okay. And I don't even remember what I was talking about. And Facebook told me yesterday that was bullying. Well, who am I bullying? I was commenting on a news story. I'm sure I wasn't bullying someone. I don't have time to do that. Anyway, Gretchen is watching. Good to see you, Gretchen. Gretchen says, I've never seen a show at the Woodlands. Gretchen, are you in? Where are you located, Gretchen? Did Charity answer that question? Gretchen, if you're in Houston, you could go see Cage the Elephant tonight. I'll transfer the tickets to you from my phone to yours. It's actually pretty easy to do. You just have to, do you want them, Gretchen? Or Gretchen, or whatever your name is? GW Bulls says, last time I was there was for Motley Crue and Kiss on the same night. It was awesome. GW, you know what I'm about to say, right? You already know. You already know what I'm about to say, so I won't even say it, but I will. Kiss is not a real rock band. Kiss is bullshit. If you're a Kiss fan, that means you like Pez. That means your favorite restaurant is McDonald's. You know what I mean? Kiss isn't a good band, GW. Yeah, maybe we do have a public feud happening with Paul Stanley that's been going on for over a decade, but it's still a bullshit band. Kiss isn't good. It's garbage. It's Velveeta cheese. No offense to Velveeta cheese. It's not very entertaining to me. Never has been. Even Steven Tyler agrees with me. He says it's what did he say? It's a comic book rock band. Gretchen's in Louisiana. Well, you can't go then. Sorry, Gretchen. GW, do you want to go see? I don't even know if a Kiss fan would like Cage the Elephant. Noiles said, Pantera ever play the Woodlands? Yes. Last August, I was there. It was fucking awesome. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite concerts. And immediately people are going to go, oh, it's not real Pantera. Come on. It's as close as you're going to get. The thing that always bothered me about people that are mad about the Pantera, what a lot of people call the Pantera tribute band, it's Phil and Rex from the original lineup. But, you know, the Abbott brothers are dead, right? Like Dimebag's dead, Vinnie Paul's dead. So they were replaced by, why am I having a brain fart right now? The drummer from Anthrax, and then obviously the guitarist from Ozzy Osbourne and Black Label Society. You guys know who that is. And people will say, well, that's not real Pantera, Kenny, because it's not the original lineup. Well, you'll never get the original lineup again. But for the record, the first couple Pantera albums that didn't feature Phil Anselmo on vocals, Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell have said out loud more than once they don't even consider that to be real Pantera. They said that was just like pre-Pantera. The real Pantera started with Cowboys from Hell, and Phil did vocals on it, so technically Phil is part of the original lineup. And so is Rex. He was the bass player. Anyway, they're awesome. GW is in Alaska. Then you can't go to Cage the Elephant tonight. Chris says they are not good. They are great. They're not good. Are we talking about Pantera or Cage the Elephant? Anyway, it's still tickets to Cage the Elephant. If anybody wants them, I just want to give them to somebody that had a shitty week because of the hurricane in Houston. That's the only thing I want. I want nothing more. I want nothing less. So simply tell me in the comment section if you want them. I don't know if I have the fortitude to just keep talking till somebody takes these tickets. Isn't that weird? It's a sold-out concert. Oh, Kiss. No, Chris, Kiss sucks. Oh, Chris. Guys, it's like ketchup on a hot dog. I will, even if I lose every follower I have, even if you guys give up on I will die on this hill. Kiss is not a good band. Ketchup does not belong on a hot dog. And anyone who says otherwise, you're dead to me. All right, you're not dead to me. We'll just respectfully disagree. Gretchen says, just wanted to say blah, blah, blah. You and Steve and Billy Ed and Mr. O and Kenneth. Love y'all. I'm off all summer, and most days I'm hooked up with y'all. I converted my boyfriend to. Well, Gretchen, that fills my heart with joy. I love that. Thank you. I am a humble part of what is probably the biggest morning radio show for conservatives in the South. It's probably also the biggest right-wing rock radio show in America. That's a thing. Michael Berry pointed that out to me once. He said, there's conservative talk radio, and then there's right-wing rock shows. Like Mancow is one. People forget that. And it used to be Mancow, but he's not on the air anymore. So I think the biggest right-wing rock morning radio show in America now is ours. We're certainly the biggest morning show that's syndicated regionally to the South. Holland says, we are gay for space. I'm gay for space, too. Chris says, you won't lose me, dude. Millie says, stay. Where would I go, Millie? Millie, are you in Houston? Where are you located? Mark says the Goyim know. The Goyim, I don't know what the Goyim know. I have no idea. Mark or Millie, y'all are already the best show. We're the best show. Thank you. Who wants to go see Cage the Elephant for free tonight? What do I have to do to give these tickets away to you guys? How many people are watching me now? Over 200 people on Twitter, 4 people on YouTube. It doesn't say how many people on Instagram, another 30 on Facebook. Let's give these tickets away to somebody that's deserving. If you lost power this week, Millie's in Slidell. I can't give them to you. Paul's in Fort Worth. Not going to work. Let's see. Gretchen already said she's in Revelation 3:9. Are you dropping Bible quotes in the comment section, my man? Who wants to go see Cage the Elephant tonight? I will drink a beer with you. Dale asks, are Methodists allowed to go? The old school Methodists, yes. The new school Methodists with their trans marriages, no. No, Dale, no. Don't know. Friends don't let friends go to the new Methodist church. Mark asks, what's your take on Michael Collins Piper? I feel like I'm supposed to know what that is. What happened with Michael Collins Piper? I'm embarrassed to ask the question. I don't know. Let's see. Wells Fargo hires healthcare banker. No, that can't be it. What's my, like, just on the author? I don't really have an opinion on the author. GW says offer some free AC with the tickets. People in Houston will be all over it. I don't have free AC to offer. I wish I did. Mark says Project 2025 is a PSYOP Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 is real. Okay. There's a great meme going around about this. I can't take credit for it. But as you guys know, Project 2025 isn't a Trump thing. It's the Heritage Foundation. But somebody posted this great meme online, Trump's Project 2025. What would it involve? If Trump had a Project 2025, it would involve Arby's 5 for $5 will return to Arby's all over the country. $5 footlongs back at Subway, and yes, they'll be 12 inches long. Because you hate when you're missing an inch. Ashtrays back in Burger King. Remember when Burger King had ashtrays? Remember when Marlboro Miles points existed? McRib year-round, dine-in Pizza Huts with the red cups. I didn't write the jokes. It's a meme. It's going around right now. But anyway, I don't know if anyone's going to take these tickets. I can't keep talking, guys. I've been talking for 20 minutes now. I will tell you this. I'm live this afternoon from 3 to 4 p.m., the afternoon show. If you don't have KPRC radio in your city, our morning show is syndicated all over the South. From Arkansas and Oklahoma all the way over to Florida and from Georgia to Texas and pretty much all over the good part of the South. But if you don't get KPRC radio where you live because it's only heard in Houston, download the Walton & Johnson smartphone app and you can listen to the podcast of both shows for free. You can also shop in our online store. We just launched a bunch of great new merchandise. Our buddy Austin Peterson, if you know who that is, he is now the curator for the Walton & Johnson online store, and there's a lot of great content there. But getting back to the chat here, who wants free tickets to go see Cage the Elephant tonight at the Woodlands Pavilion? Gretchen says, I'll make a post and tell them to get with you. The show tonight in the Woodlands. Yeah, that's right. It's at the Woodlands Pavilion. GW says, wonder if we could get y'all in the valley here in Alaska. Some of our stations just closed. I don't know if it would work. We're about to pick up, I'm probably not supposed to talk about it, but we're going to have some new affiliates in Arkansas soon. We're talking about Florida. The show is definitely growing and expanding, which is the opposite of what anyone in our industry ever predicted was going to happen. But oddly enough, I'm not big enough to give away a free pair of Cage the Elephant tickets right now. Noilez says Project 2025 will have all the original members of Pantera. That is great. All right, I'll leave with this. I'll conclude with this because I've been talking for 21 minutes, and I really just wanted to. I thought, I'll be honest with you, I did not think it was going to take this long. I thought somebody would want these tickets immediately. I thought right away, Kenny's got free tickets. Someone's going to want them. Nope. Turns out no. Message me, DM me, slide up in my DMs. Slide up in my DMs like lobbyists slide up in the DMs of Lena Hidalgo and bribe her. And anybody that wants a pair of tickets tonight, I have 2 tickets. Once they're gone, they're gone. I have 4 tickets, but I, as you probably have guessed, have a date. And then, you know, most eligible bachelor in Houston. But I have 2 extra tickets that I cannot give away. So if somebody wants them, at this point, I don't even care if you were affected by the hurricane. I just want to give them away. Mark says, got Rat tickets. I don't have Rat tickets. When are Rat playing? Gretchen says, we love Kenny and Steve. Good luck with your date. POC? Yes, it is a POC, and she's indigenous. The Adam Special on Twitter asks if I'm taking Milton. Milton Friedman Webster, my bulldog, is not allowed to go to concerts with me. Although I will say this, you'd be surprised at how many places he's allowed to go where he's not supposed to be. As you guys know, there's a Whole Foods right by the radio station because it's also by my condo. And I make fun of a lot how I don't seem like the kind of guy that would go to Whole Foods, but it's there. I mean, it's convenient. Milton has been in the sushi section. He's not supposed to be there, but because he's so cute, he gets away with some shit. When you're as handsome as me and Milton, you get to go some places you're not supposed to go. Grab him by the P word. I'm kidding. Molly says, you are much younger than I thought. How old do you think I am, Molly? Molly, I am 42 years old. People often ask, why do you look so young? Probably 3 things. Good genetics, marijuana, and masturbation. I'm kidding. Probably just good genetics, but But thank you, Molly. I'm flattered that you would say that. Your listeners are probably actually working, says Dale. Dale, you're probably right about that. The thing I wonder, though, is because normally when I do these live streams, like how many people are watching right now? A few hundred. Right now, 240. It's gone up on Twitter. It's gone down on Facebook. 240 on Twitter. A couple dozen on Facebook. A few on YouTube. It doesn't say how many people on Instagram. Message me. If you're in Houston, I'll check my DMs in about an hour. If you're in Houston and you want to go see Cage the Elephant for free, not going to charge you. I got 2 tickets. Once they're gone, they're gone. Mark says, time to make babies, Kenny. Mark, I tried. I tried to make babies. God didn't give me any. I don't want to depress everybody. You know, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm 6'3". I make 6 figures a year. I got a face like this. I got the gift of gab. I'll be fine. Hopefully I do make some babies soon. Got to find a wife first or a baby mama. Now that I'm divorced, I know you guys, this isn't therapy, but people ask me about that. They're like, so are you worried you'll never have kids? I'll probably never get married again, but I might have a kid. Do you remember that episode of The Office where Dwight and Angela have a contract to make a baby? It's like a sex contract. I would do that. No, I know. I'm still a Catholic. I still believe in God. God forgives, yada, yada, yada. I'm not trying to blaspheme in a live stream, but I would do that. If I could find somebody that would agree, a woman who is pretty enough, I'd give her an allowance and child support for her and the kid. And yeah, I would, if she was pretty enough and I thought I could trust her, I would do that. Even if we had no romantic interest in each other at all. Smart, genetics, that sort of thing. But anyway, I'm not going to air out my laundry on the, I guess I already did. Stormy again. Feed is spotty, says Kelly. Where are you located, Kelly? I think a lot of other people could see me okay. Mark says, is there an unvaccinated bar for singles in Houston? It's a good question. Ladies, if you want some unvaccinated DNA, this is getting gross. Mark, I'm not proud of these jokes. Mark says, go to Croatia or Czech Republic to find a good-based woman. I believe you, but I don't date white women anymore. That's my rule. Since I divorced my wife, no more white women. Molly says, wow, thank you. I listen on the radio. Just thought you were my age. Thanks for recognizing me. I am also Catholic, but yay. Arthur says, stay single. Don't lose half of all you own. Retirement and all. But Arthur, from your fingertips to God's eyes viewing the screen, I agree with that point. I'm fine, but whatever. Divorce is just so, besides being financially expensive, which it's okay. I've already mostly recovered from that. It is just emotionally exhausting. I don't recommend divorce. Would not have gotten divorced if I could have. Anyway. Noila says Slavic women are considered POC. Really? I wouldn't have thought so. Because aren't they like as white as Casper? I don't think you are a POC if you're Slavic. Anyway, Mark says looks are a small factor in reproduction and marriage. Mark, I'm going to look right into the camera when I say this. I disagree. I don't agree. I respectfully disagree with your point. You seem like a good guy, Mark. I don't think that's true. No. Anyway, that's about it for comments here. Still no takers on the Cage the Elephant concert tickets for tonight. I can't believe it. I thought that would be I thought they would go away immediately. Maybe I'll give them away on the radio this afternoon. All right. Well, I love you all. Thank you for watching this. You already know we just launched a new online store. Can I let you guys in on a little secret? I probably shouldn't talk about some of this on the air, but I've already started, so why not? A couple projects we're working on behind the works right now. As you guys know, Steve is the greatest character voice artist in terrestrial radio. Steve Johnson is a genius. Steve Johnson is the Harry Shearer, the Seth MacFarlane of talk radio. He's brilliant. And if you don't know why, I won't explain it, no pulling back the curtain, but Steve is so good at what he does. And I've always thought Steve should voice a cartoon. So we just launched this new online store. WaltonandJohnson.com or ilovewj.com takes you right to the store. And I say all that to make this point. Steve and I have decided that we want to do a cartoon. We're funding a bunch of animated shorts. So we teamed up with some animators we know who used to work at Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, because as you know, I used to voice a cartoon. I used to do a lot of production work. Not a lot, but for a short period of my life before I moved to Texas, I worked on some cartoons for Adult Swim, which was really cool, and did audio production and sound engineering and voice work for them and all this stuff I'm good at, because I'm not good at that many things, just 3 things. That'd be it, right? Music and audio production and voice work and bitching on the radio. And so I know some of these people, and I figure we don't need the money from the online store. So we're going to do two things with it. If the new online store is a screaming success immediately. Austin Peterson is the content curator. He's the guy that's creating all the merch for us. The stuff he's making is really cool. I'm so proud of Austin. This is one of the t-shirts you could get there, among other things. Really cool stuff. If you're a conservative or a Republican or a libertarian, you'll find cool things. We're going to take about half the money that we earn from the online store, and we're going to spend it on, we're going to give it to charity. Wheelchairs for Warriors is one of the charities we support. Sunshine Kids, there's a few, but they're very important to us. And the other half the money, we're going to take it and we're going to fund a cartoon. We're going to pay the animators. So that's probably going to happen sooner than later. And Kevin, I don't know what you're talking about on Twitter. I have no idea what you mean by that. But no, Kevin, that's not what I mean. Wink, wink. But so we're going to fund a cartoon, and I don't know how soon it'll be done or how soon it'll happen, but the money from the online store, if you buy things in the online store, you're paying for two things. Number one, you're supporting a great charity. And number two, you are funding the Walton and Johnson animated series, the 10%er Cartoon Network, which is going to be coming soon. It's a project on the back burner, but I'm very confident that it's going to happen because we've already got all the pieces in play. And the only thing is it costs money to pay animators. And I think that if that's the most difficult part, if that's the only part we haven't figured out yet, I got to think it'll also be the easiest thing to solve. That's an easy problem. Making money is, money's money. Everybody needs money, but I think we could sell enough t-shirts and koozies and beer mugs and stuff like that to pay these guys. And so it seems to already be happening. It looks like we're already there, but still, it's a great cause. All right, one more time. Anybody want Cage the Elephant tickets? If you lost power this week, if you had a shit week, if you knew full well your week wouldn't have gone this awful if it wasn't for Lena Hidalgo and Centerpoint Energy, and you want to go hang out with me and some friends tonight at Cage the Elephant, it's 2 tickets, so you could bring a date or a friend. Same thing, right? Jason asks, who is doing the animation? Pixar? Yeah, we reached out to Disney and we found the creepiest pedophiles. No, that's not what happened. No, the people that are doing the animation for us are right-wing, they're red-pilled, they're based. They used to work at Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. They probably vote the same way you do. Anyway, to answer your question, that's who's doing the animation. So, Mark says, would you marry a woman with kids already and be a stepdaddy? I think a lot of people, I noticed younger conservatives, like young men who are right-wing in their 20s, are disgusted by that, Mark. The thought of like being with some woman who already has a kid, that disgusts them. When you get to your 40s, that's not that gross. You know what I mean? It's like, most of the women my age that are single are divorced and have a kid. So no, it wouldn't bother me. She's got to be based. She has to be healthy. She has to be red-pilled. Probably not going to end up with an ugly woman. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if that makes me. I know people are like, oh, Kenny, looks aren't everything. Yeah, but there's something. I don't know if that. But a divorced woman who already has a kid, yeah, I'd probably be okay with that. Now, if she had like multiple kids or whatever, I don't know if I have time for 3 kids that I'm not the father of, but maybe 1 or 2. I don't know. To answer your question, depends on the woman. It's a big hypothetical. Would have to be, maybe, is the short answer to that question. But anyway, please don't make anything like New Norm. I heard New Norm sucked. I didn't watch it, but I don't know. If it's right-wing and it's a cartoon, it probably is kind of fun to watch. But let's see. Any other comments I didn't address yet? Mark asks, what makes Israel our greatest ally exactly? I don't think I've ever said they are. No, here's why Israel matters. Israel is the only place in the Mideast, of the multiple countries, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, not technically the Mideast, but close enough. Certainly Iran. Israel is the only place where our attempt at a regime change worked. It's the only place in the worst place on earth, which is what I think the Mideast probably is, of having never gone there. I don't really know, but it certainly seems awful to me. Israel is the only place where American regime change attempts actually worked. And look what it cost us. Look what it cost. We spend $11 billion a year paying Israel not to go to war with Egypt. I think it's 11, right? And on top of that, we give a few billion to Egypt not to go to war with Israel. How long have we been doing that for? What, since the 70s? Does that seem like it's worth it? I don't know. You tell me. I support Israel in the sense that, like, I'm not like crying crocodile tears for the people of Palestine, but I also think there's got to be a limit to how much we fund and help Israel. You can't, by the way, you can't have that. You can't have a moderate position. Either you love Hamas or you love Benjamin Netanyahu. You can't just be in the middle and be like, maybe we help them a little. Maybe we don't try to prosecute Israel for war crimes. But at the same time, we don't have to, like, free Palestine. I don't give a shit about Palestine. I don't. And honestly, I don't really give a shit about Israel either. I don't really. I don't know. I think I used to feel differently about this 10 years ago. I think 10 years ago, I was a little more pro-Israel than I am now. But I'm at a point here where I just don't feel like we can keep funding every other country's problems knowing what the hell our country. Look at Houston. Look at Houston right now. We're giving billions of dollars to Ukraine, but for 4 days now, people in Houston have been boiling to death. But Kenny, those two things have nothing in common. Yeah, they do, actually. You're wrong. Mark asked, what if the Israeli Mossad funded and created Hamas? So I've heard all these theories before. What if they did, Mark? I don't know. What do you want me to do about that? I don't know. This isn't about Israel. Who wants tickets to go see Cage the Elephant? That was all this was ever about. If you had a shitty week, and you didn't like, I have 2 tickets tonight to go see Cage the Elephant at the Woodlands Pavilion. You could be pro-Israel. You can even be pro-Hamas. I don't care. Nothing to do with me. But if you had an awful week, if you lost power because of the useless political and corporate leadership of Southeast Texas, the monopoly that is CenterPoint Energy, I would love to provide you with 2 tickets to go see Cage the Elephant tonight for free. All you got to do is message me. I'm going to sign off in a minute. Dale asks, how about a show on Rumble or Spaces? All right, so Spaces, if I'm not mistaken, aren't we not on Spaces? I guess we're not on Spaces right now, are we? I like Spaces. I don't dislike Rumble. I just don't. I'm not answering the question. I'm becoming like Joe Biden here where I can't finish a sentence. Part of the reason why you're watching me right now is because there's a third-party app called Restream, and Restream lets me stream to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube all at the same time. And I have a pretty decent following on all those platforms, but not so big that I could have just gotten rid of these tickets on one of those platforms. So I thought to myself I would use Restream to simulcast or whatever to all these platforms. And surely I would have gotten rid of the tickets after 36 minutes. Mark, I will tell you what right now, Mark. Mark asks me, Mark keeps chiming in with weird conspiracy theories. Mark, you would love my best friend Josh loves talking about how the earth is flat and we didn't land on the moon and that dinosaurs aren't real or whatever. But I just want to give away tickets to Cage the Elephant, Mark. Mark, where are you located? Are you in Houston? Mark says Chuck Schumer, Dianne Feinstein, Barbara Boxer, Michael Bloomberg, Rahm Emanuel, Barney Frank, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, all dual citizenship Israelis. Just saying. Okay, I get your point. I don't know. Is that true? Is Chuck Schumer an Israeli citizen? I didn't know that. That's funny. Look, Mark, you don't have to convince me we give too much aid to Israel. I already made that point. Noila says, fun to hang out at least, even if you didn't get the tickets out. I know. Mark is in Slidell. Well, Mark, you're useless to me if you're in Slidell. Somebody in Southeast Texas, you don't have to be in Houston, but I'd be nice if you were nearby, that was affected by the hurricane. If you want tickets to go see Cage the Elephant, I got 2 free tickets tonight. Message me, DM me, tweet me, tag me. I think the best way to get a hold of me would be on Twitter. But you can also, I'm live streaming on Facebook on the Walton and Johnson Facebook page. But if you private message the Kenny Webster Facebook page, I'll see the message that way. I'm just going to leave this here. I'll check back. What is it, 12:30 right now? I'll check back in an hour. First person to message me gets the Cage the Elephant tickets. Anyway, I love you all. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Mark says, Kenny, go land a 30-year-old Texas woman. 30-year-olds ready to settle down. The girl I'm dating tonight is 28, and I'm 42. And people might ask, Kenny, what is a 42-year-old doing with a 28-year-old? The answer is whatever I want, because it's legal, as long as she's consenting. Sherry says, love you, Kenny. I love you too, Sherry. Can we say scalp, asks Dale. I'll ask one of my indigenous women if you can. I'll let you know. Anyway, Cage the Elephant tickets. I got 2 of them. I want to give them away. Share this video if you don't mind sharing it. You know, maybe someone will want the tickets, and we'll give them away soon. I love you all. I really do. I pray for all of you. I have the coolest job on earth, and I wouldn't have my cool job if it wasn't for you people that listen to me on the radio and interact with me on social media. I know I'm an asshole. I know I have a weird, raspy, nasally voice. I know I say things that make you uncomfortable when you're driving to work and you have children in the car. I know a lot of you have had to have the birds and the bees conversation with your 9-year-old before you were ready to because of something I said on the air. I know for some of you I'm too libertarian and for some of you I'm too conservative, but I digress. Mark asks, what venue is the show at? It's at the Woodlands Pavilion. Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion. It's just commonly referred to as the Woodlands Pavilion. It's because it's in the Woodlands. Mark asks, 6 figures. Yeah, I make a lot of money for a asshole on the radio. I know. I think I'm grossly overpaid too. It's disgusting. It's not fair. Yada, yada, yada. But I've been working hard for 20 years. That's what happens. Steven says, you do you. I expect nothing less. Thanks, my man. Noila says, LOL, my kid loves the show. All good with me, Kenny. Thank you. I love you all. I love what I do for a living. I'm grateful for all of you. God bless America. God bless Texas. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Lena Hidalgo. We need a catchphrase for her too, don't we? The Nancy Pelosi of Houston. Anyway, Cage the Elephant tickets. Somebody message me. I'll give them away for free today. Have a good one.